Life Her Podcast.
Hey, you.
Her is me, her is you. Her is us, her is she, her is we. United we stand, baby, that hurt for keeps. I'm coming and I demand my space, I know it's free. I owe myself the world, they tried to count me out. I've been down some dark roads, they tried to pound me out. From cloudy to sunny, ain't think that I would make it out. I needed positive emotions to fill me out.
Hey y'all, it's Yvette, Lloyd, Life Her Podcast. So my goal in this season is for you all to hear me more, and I will talk about things that I've been through and things to help you to feel uplifted and inspired by anything that's going on in your life currently. One of the things I want to discuss today is the loss you just took is something better coming in your new chapter. I myself have took many losses. I have lost a daycare center not once but twice. Um, and the reason being for that is not paying attention to the things that I was doing. Not stepping up and trusting people enough to be in positions to be able to handle things, and me trusting them enough to not go over the work that they were doing. Um, with that being said, is the fact that even though you trust people, going over things that you built from the ground up is always a must. It's not the fact that you don't trust them when you do look over things. It's just you have to do things for you in the matter of you being able to move forward in life as far as your business and watch it grow into something greater than than you could even imagine. Our whole intentions of starting a business is really the fact that this is our passion. This is something obviously that we love to do, and we are trying to make a profit from it and everything. And when you make profits from it, you'll be able to enhance all the services that you are providing or inventory or anything of that nature that has to do with your business. Um, it's really difficult in many, many ways. I've been broken many times, and even putting your all into something. Most of you know that I have a youth program for young girls, which I took a long break from. I don't even know if I'm going to start it again, but I had a program for young girls, and it broke me to a point where when you put your all into something and you don't see the results. You know, they always say you can help one person and it'll be a blessing, but in my mind, I want to help them all. And a lot of things that I did do in that period of time is a lot of the funding that I was accumulating from my daycare center, I was putting it back into the community. So with me putting it back into the community, it's like, now it's like, what do I have? you know? So at the end of the day, it just, I find myself back down in a hole where I wouldn't have nothing for myself because I poured into everyone else and I didn't pour into myself. And that was really, really rough to even deal with that, because it's like, man, God, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay my bills? How can I take care of my family? But yet, all the things that I've done, it's like I felt like it didn't matter. I felt like it didn't matter to a point where no one cared about anything besides themselves, which that's something that I already knew already. But feeling it, seeing it, experiencing it in so many ways, man, you get a totally different feeling. And I really want y'all to know that if you are in business, or even with you just working a 9 to 5, it really doesn't even matter. taking care of yourself should be your number one priority. It isn't the fact of you being selfish. It's not that you want to give, and to a point you feel bad for not giving. Sometimes feeling bad is feeling good because a lot of people aren't going to love you and care for you as much as you love and care for them. Sometimes people will use you up until your cup is completely empty with not even a drop to even land on your tongue. And at the end of the day, they moved on with their lives. They may say bad things about you. They may give a whole nother perspective of your life. Or even if they were close to you, they'll try to share things about your life, but you really didn't give them the full fledged of your personal life because, you know, you always have that guard up. And I'm one of the guarded individuals. I always kept my guard up, watched my surroundings and everything. But even when I did that, my heart always took over. It's not the fact of you creating yourself to have a cold heart. It's not that you're eliminating the fact that you are a giving and caring person. You can't let anyone take that away from you. And God created you to be that way because he needs help with his job. If you really sit and think about it, God takes care of billions of people. He has to watch over billions of people. Billions of people hurt him also. We may do things that are sinful to him and we may not even recognize it. That's why we always ask him to forgive us for our sins and our sins that go unnoticed. And with us doing that, it gives him a better, clear mind and understanding on why we did what we did, and for us to understand that we can't do it again. And we always have to ask for his forgiveness. Not only asking for God's forgiveness, we're asking for forgiveness for ourselves and forgiveness for individuals that we may have hurted. And that is really tough, even asking for forgiveness or receiving forgiveness, and or even just making ourselves accountable for it, to even be real about what we did wrong and what we could have done differently. I'm real big on apologizing for things that I've done wrong, and I'd rather tell a person to their face, and I would like to move forward. Some people can't move forward in life. Some people can. But what I'm trying to get at is your chapters in your life aren't permanent. You could create them to be permanent if you continue on to dwell on the situation. A lot of us don't like to let go and let God. Let going of your problems and your issues is something that'll help you move forward in life. Talking about your problems and issues is very important. Communication is important. Either communication with yourself, meaning and journaling, or communicating with someone that you trust. When you do communicate, me personally, I like to communicate with elderly individuals that experience life and been through things. Um, Talking to someone sometimes around my age, it doesn't really move me too much. It doesn't bring too much light into my life. I've always been around elderly women and elderly men to a point where they give me wisdom to a point where I could understand it more. And a lot of us don't go to our older individuals in our lives because we always think they're wrong, or we always think they're attacking us. We always just feel that insecure of them just being negative all the time. But if you take out your emotions and your feelings that you have, you will be able to recognize that they are really for you. It's just they're hard, they're uncut, they raw, but you're not going to get that nowhere else. A lot of people don't respect that realness and that uncut personality or demeanor or anything like that because, a lot of people get defensive from that. But that's what I'm used to. I was raised that way. My mother was that way. She didn't cut no corners. And that's why I like to speak with older women that's been through things in life, because, well, 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna tell you no wrong. I'm telling y'all that right now. They're not gonna tell you that nothing wrong, to a point you will start walking around here with your chin up so high, ain't nothing gonna really phase you. But, taking care of our elders and spending time with them, listening to their conversations, listen to the things that they experienced in life and everything is refreshing. Taking them out to eat and just showing them a lot of appreciation is really needed, because they are who we are today. They created us to be here today. They have set us free today. They have done so many things and took so many sacrifices for us as a new generation to be here and where we're at today in life. We may not like it, but we have to appreciate it. And that's where a lot of us be at. We have a selfish mindset. We always want things right here, right now, how I want it, how I think, how this everything is. Just, we're spoiled. At the end of the day, we're spoiled from God. We're spoiled from anything that goes on in our lives. And we need to unspoil ourselves and look at the fact that you did wake up in the morning. And if you didn't wake up, a lot of other people will be hurt behind that. We have to look at the fact that we are able to eat every day. We are able to do many things to create a better life for ourselves. And that's really, really hard for a lot of people. We can't give up. We got to keep going. They didn't give up. They kept going. Our ancestors got up every day picking cotton and getting whipped and dealing with so much hatred, racism, just anything, you know, um, just to a point where we need to go back to the basics. We need to go back to where things are much more simple in life. The simple things will make something look so, like, so much of a butterfly, in a sense. Like, it'll make everything look so good that you did so simple, but it will look huge to the next person. And that's how I feel right now, because right now I'm currently doing simple things every single day for my life to be right. And those simple things are making me feel good. But those simple things look big to other people. Even on my broken days, wouldn't nobody know that, because that day I may have felt broken. That day I may be broke and I don't have nothing to look back on. And it'll be to a point where I have to keep going. I can't stop. When I lost my daycare the first time, I I thought the world was going to end. You couldn't tell me nothing or anything. But what pushed me so much was the fact that when I lost something, I wanted to get it right back so fast. And I worked so hard in a whole week. I was able to open up the daycare again in literally 24 hours. So it took me a week to get the paperwork process and inspections and everything done. I was pushing it so hard. And then once I submitted it, they came out, did an inspection. Next thing you know, I opened up into a new center the very next day. And after that, it was like, whew, man. But it was still changes. There was a lot of changes that still needed to be made. But during that whole process of me creating changes, I was all over the place. and I was all over the place mentally because I was still scarred for even still losing it and thinking what I've done wrong and what I need to do right and everything. On top of that, I'm running a youth program for young girls, and I'm dealing with all of the spirits that they're bringing into my life. And it got me feeling like, oh my God, like this little girl going through this. And I'm sitting here feeding people, clothing people, making sure everybody is happy, making sure everything is cool. And on top of that, I'm running 2 centers. I'm an administrator at one, and I own another one that I'm not even running, you know? So it was a lot. It was times where from 2012, when I started my youth program and my daycare, and my grandmother, she passed in 2011. So that's what encouraged me to move forward on starting my own business. But from 2012 all the way until now, I've been busting my butt. I haven't got any rest. I've been on the go nonstop, posting on social media, not having a break from it. Even if I'm on vacation, I'm going on vacation to work. Like constantly, I'm working and thinking about my daycare, my youth program, what such and such need, or people requesting cash apps or asking me for money because they need help with something. I will secretly help other people with their business. I will pay for a video shoot for them, a photo shoot for them. I will pay some people's bills in their home. I will give people shelter either in my home or a hotel or something like that. I've done all of that, but it was never enough for anyone because at the end of the day, someone always found something wrong with me. Someone always wanted to point the finger as though I done something wrong to them, and they don't even look at the fact of the things that I've done. Um, they don't care at the end of the day. Um, you could purchase something for someone, but what I've noticed is when you continue to do things for someone, it becomes the new norm for them. It's a normal act. It's to a point. This is what you are supposed to do for them. So it creates them to not even appreciate it anymore. And no, it isn't fair, but it's life. It is what it is. But what I have learned is to set boundaries in my life because I will end up being the one hurt at the end of the day, and people will move on with their lives as though nothing happened. Even doing that, it still becomes difficult. It still becomes painful because I have dealt with things that I have never said to anyone that I have dealt with. I have battled many, many things in my life where I just wanted to give up. I have battled when I wanted to commit suicide. I have battled domestic violence, and still the next day I woke up and went to work and still running my daycare center. And I didn't even think about it no more. And that was a thing that I was doing every time I fell down, I got right back up the next day. But one thing about falling down, getting right back up, I never put time into myself to separate things to make me feel good and feel better about myself. Um, but what did help me along the way is inspiring young women and uplifting them, speaking life into them, and saying things will create me to speak life into myself because I didn't want to contradict the things that I was saying to them and doing at the same time. I didn't want to bring that toxicness into my personal life. I can't say that I'm doing this in somebody's life and I'm speaking this into someone's life when I can't even do it for myself. So that's one thing I was real consistent of and hard on myself about because it was very important to me that these young women knew their self-worth and where they should be in life and how important their lives are in loving themselves and finding who they are. And it's very important. And I believe at this point in my life I have battled so much. um I had got immune to it, to the point it wasn't a healthy immune. um Meaning the fact that it wasn't healthy for me to be used to being hurt. And a lot of us aren't supposed to be content in that way, and it's not good. So we need to transition our mindsets into a positive mindset so that we are able to do the things that we need to do and want to do in our lives. And that's one of the things, is being selfish and loving yourself more and doing more for yourself. And I want that to be a goal for y'all this week, is loving yourself more, doing more for you, setting boundaries, and saying no. Um, it may hurt them, but who cares? You are hurt. You are hurting yourself at the end of the day, and you have to release that hurt and not be hurt anymore. Because we in a healing process in our life, and we need to be in this formation together. I want y'all all to do this with me, because with me communicating with y'all is me communicating to myself too, because I don't even want to contradict myself with you all either. So I really want y'all to really step into who you are and seeing the woman that someone else would see, that loves you dearly, see in that mirror. Because it is very, very important for us to see who we are, because sometimes we don't even see it anymore because we have battled so much in life. So I want you guys to speak that life into you on a daily basis and create affirmations for you to even view once you get out of bed. It could be on your ceiling, it could be on the mirror in the bathroom, it could be on the kitchen door of the refrigerator. It could be anywhere, to a point where you know you're going to be there every single day and you're going to see it, because you have to remind yourself that you're the shit. And it's not being cocky. It's not being to a point where I think I'm all that or better than you or anything. That's a personal problem that other people have when they even say that. You think you better than me, you think you this, you think you that. No, that's what you think, and I appreciate your thought. I love you for that. But sometimes the way that person feel about you is the way they feel about themselves, or they wish they were at that level of frequency in their mindset. So I don't want you to no longer feed into the words that people speak to you, but I want you to start speaking life into yourself so that you will know and define who you are as that woman. Even though we all been through things in life, we can't dwell on the things that we've been through. We need to move forward in life and create a healthy environment for ourselves. And we got to make sure the things that we take in are healthy as well, created to a point. Our food process, us working out, meditating, listening to positive music, listening to water sounds, listening to jazz music, listening to gospel music. It's a lot of things that we just can't intake no more into our spirit, into our soul, because it wouldn't make us the woman that we are today. We have to get in that mindset of peace and joy and happiness, because we shifting. We really shifting, and it's a good shift. That's what I want you to know. It's a good shift, but if that shift isn't good to you, that means you weren't good to you. So just always remember that. This is just a introduction of me communicating with you guys more, because you don't get to hear me much. You usually just hear me doing interviews with women, but I want you to know my purpose and my reason for Life Her podcast, because you are Life Her. I am Life Her, and other women surrounding you are Life Her too. And we have to start speaking life into each other, because it's very, very important. All the hatred, all the negativity and all that it has to stop. It has to stop. If I get upset with someone and I say something, I'll be mad at myself. I'll be wanting to apologize and everything, because it's like sometimes people can take you there when that's not even where you wanted to go. But when you be surrounded, or someone that would take you there, you have to remove them from your life, because they no longer have a position into your circle. So cut your circle short. The new year is coming. Going into the new year, you need peace and love. Don't wait until after the new year to create all these things for yourself. Let's do it now. That's our problem. We'd be like, oh, I want to start Monday. Or, oh, no, I ain't going to start today. I got this, and that to do. No, I won't start Tuesday at 5:00. No, start now. After you listen to this, start now, today. We don't got time to be waiting. Quit playing with yourself. You don't play around when somebody else needs something. You don't play when people need your help or reaching out to you and all that. You don't play about that. So now it's for you not to play about yourself and the things that you need to do for you. You need to get a lot more serious and get it together. As my mom said, get your shit together. And that's just where we at right now. I'm not about to be playing with y'all. I am not about to be playing. But I really hope this podcast episode helped you guys. And I am going to share more about my personal life, my personal experiences. How did I overcome it? How am I getting through it? And everything else that come with it. I love you all. Please continue to support Life Her Podcast. Subscribe on all the major platforms, and also watch us on YouTube. And I love y'all. Be blessed. Know your worth and put you first. Have a blessed day. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Life Her Podcast, where we help heal women all over the world. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Life Her Podcast, and check out our YouTube page as well. And make sure you subscribe. You can also look onto our website and you can purchase merchandise and listen to the podcast episodes. I am Yvette Lloyd. I am Life Her. Love yourself, ladies. Take care of yourself and others you love dearly.